Who left the nest.
Who left the nest
Mm.
to go and find some help.
Wow.
And he paid for the help.
Wow.
So you ask me a question. What is a father's role?
Yeah.
Now I want you to understand that many of the wounds men deal with in life are inflicted at home.
Right.
You get?
Yeah.
You mentioned pornography.
Yeah.
It's not very far from home.
Yeah.
Abuse, not very far from home.
Yeah.
Substance abuse, not very far from home. So as a father, you can look at yourself and say, oh, I am the cause of all these problems. You know what? I'm ashamed. Deal with your own problems.
Mm.
Or you can remember that a wounded warrior is a warrior nonetheless.
Yeah.
And as a father, you are the leader who now has to lay your life down.
Yeah.
Put aside your ego.
Yeah.
And put aside your clever words.
Yeah.
And
Put on a suit of tenderness.
The way Jesus put on that cross.
Yeah.
To cross us over.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, to cross us over into winning, into a better place as a man.
Yeah.
So, when we talk about grace, we are not condoning the things that men do out of brokenness.
Yeah.
We are saying go beyond them.
Mm.
Bullies are bullies because they are afraid of being hurt.
Mm.
So if you're able to understand that, then when a bully comes into your presence, you don't cower. You call out the kid in him and remind him that he's now a man. And say, you know, you actually don't need to do this. You're good enough. There's no need for you to bully your life through. Like you to bully your way through life. So this is what a father does. A father lifts up. A father tends. A father guides and a father directs. That is why speaking of shame, imagine orphans.
Yeah.
What do they have to do with loss of parents, especially loss of their fathers? Now, where does the shame come from in being an orphan? Think about that. That because you lost your parents, now you are ashamed? Like when you put an orphan among other people, you notice that
you see.
This person is missing something.
Yeah.
And what is that? Parents.
Yeah.
And even when you look at girls, the girls who are quite open and loose.
Yeah.
I'll tell a story for a friend of mine. I won't mention his name. One time we were at a concert and he told me, you know what, the easiest way to get into a girl's knickers, just ask her how her dad is. If you meet a girl and you ask her how her dad is, and she says, oh, my dad is good. I spoke with him last week. He's okay. Chances are you won't get laid.
Yeah.
Because that girl has a real man talking in her ear.
Yeah.
Said, but if you talk to a girl, she's like, me and my dad, we don't talk. I don't know how he is. That guy, what?
50%.
You get laid that day.
Yeah.
You think about that.
Right.
The importance
of a father. Yeah.
So, if the father does not tend to the wounds of his warrior, son or children, they propagate.
Whoa.
So, and it becomes a bitter root that bears bitter fruit.
Generation to generation. Yeah.
Gender-based violence.
So it can even be, anyway, let me not go there. Before can even go there. What do you think is the importance then, saying what you've just said, what do you think is the importance of a conversation between a warrior and his son? What do you think is the importance in there? Not just waiting for the son to go astray and so on, but what do you think is the part, the play that daily conversation a warrior has with his son?
Convection of power.
Yeah.
You see, we said words are life. Words are spirit. Now, a father who talks to his warrior, life pours out of them.
It's like that scripture that says we are beholding. When you keep beholding, you become.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As though beholding in a mirror.
Yeah.
We are transformed into his image.
Yeah.
Yeah. Washed I like that word, washed.
Yeah.
It's the same word which the Bible says, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ loved the church. Washing her with words.
Wow.
So think about a wound.
Yeah.
That is festering.
Yeah.
That's infected.
Yeah.
And think about words.
Yeah.
As the medicine.
Yeah. The water.
Yeah. Disinfectant.
Yeah.
So the more water...
Actually, Jesus is the water. He called himself the living water.
Exactly. And that's why I said, as many as believe in me, streams of life-giving water shall flow out of their bellies.
Wow.
So if you are a believer of Christ and there's anything dead around you, there's a problem with you, which means you're not speaking.
Ooh. You guy. Uh-huh. And so now the father who is mom, his lips are not moving. He's just there watching a newspaper, watching the TV
and swiping
flipping through his phone and so and not speaking to the warrior in the house. There's a problem, right? Even if the physical presence is there.
Think about an army.
Yeah.
With a general.
Yeah.
That doesn't give instruction.
Doesn't command, doesn't say anything.
But he's there. What can that army achieve?
Nothing.
That's what's happening. When a man does not talk to his children, when a man does not talk to his wife.
Yeah.
And speaking of talking, when we fail to talk, eventually we act out.
Right.
And then we hurt more people.
Uh-huh.
And yet talking and being, this is why Solid Jammers is a beautiful place. That we want to set up a place where you can come and talk.
Yeah.
Come with your son and talk.
Have conversations. Because the more life-giving the conversations, the higher the quality of life is. Yeah.
When you look at relationships that break down into violence, into divorce, when you look at people who end up in substance abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give my personal example.
Yeah.
I started smoking.
Yeah.
In 2013. Because at that particular time, I was going through an acrimonious relationship. But you see, our culture tells us, do not talk about family matters. Other people. So I had no one to talk to say, I am going through this. So one day I'm in a bar with my workmate. And he pulled out a cigarette. And I had a choice to either tell him what I'm going through, which I was forbidden.
Yeah.
By culture, or to say, no, stress is too much, first pass a cigarette. And then a habit came which I struggled to kick. So,
have you kicked the habit?
Wounded warriors. Right. Wounded warriors. But I just wanted to give a personal example.
Yeah.
About how words or lack of words.
Yeah.
Takes away the opportunity to heal the wounded warrior.
Yeah.
Are you seeing me?
Yeah.
I did want to say something presuppositions and, give other people's examples when I have that personal example.
Yeah.
So we have to normalize conversations, even if those conversations make us seem vulnerable, because it's out of the vulnerability that we will get help. And when a man is helped, a nation is helped.
Wow.
I just want you to understand that thing very, very simply.
Yeah.
When a man is helped, a nation is helped. Or a nation is built.
Yeah.
When a woman is educated, a nation is raised.
Yeah.
So educating a woman raises a nation. Helping a man builds the nation, because you need strength to build a nation. Now, when you're wounded is when you need the strength of others, the strength of society, and sometimes the strength of character to keep going. The strength of character is the one where I said, acrimonious woman shouting at a man, and the man just chooses to walk away.
Let me ask you this personal question. When you were wounded, some years back, your relationship, job, and so on, everything is just, in a mess. Did I, as your brother, did you feel like I abandoned you or something?
It's funny because we were working together at that time, if you remember.
Yeah.
But you know what? You had your own wars you were fighting.
Yeah.
You had your own baggage you were carrying.
Yeah.
And you said it's a personal question. What made sense of that season for me was that in my brokenness, I was carrying you.
Right. I remember.
In my brokenness, I was speaking to you. That's what gave me a sense of purpose in that time. That even when I was suicidal, I knew you needed me. And so I said, God, out of this ash, beauty will arise, and use this ash that is my life to nurture the gardens of others. So then when I came to the end of myself, I came to the beginning of purpose as a man. So I didn't feel abandoned because we were together.
See, the reason as to why I asked you that personal question is the idea of, can wounded warriors help each other? Or do we need generals in a regiment to be more than the wounded warriors?
There is a picture that comes to mind from, I think, the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Or the World Wars. It's a picture of three men. Yeah? Locking shoulders. One is limping. The one on the left is limping their right leg. Yeah? The one they're carrying in the middle has no legs. Yeah? Then the one on the right
is limping with the left.
Is limping with the left and with one eye covered.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
And that is how they were getting out of the
mess.
Yeah. Together.
Right.
Because we don't, much as we all struggle, we don't all struggle in the same ways.
Yeah.
So my weakness not being your weakness allows my strength to be your strength.
Yeah.
And then your weakness not being my weakness allows your strength to be my strength.
Yeah.
But you can only come to that place when you accept grace to do its work. And what is grace? Grace is recognizing that you're wounded, but you're still in there. Yeah? I got you. Let's move on. And then, no one has got it.
Yeah.
I might not got it, but you know what? I'm here.
Yeah.
So do not, so this is what I said earlier about coming to the end of self is a beginning of is a beginning of discovering purpose.
Yeah.
Because you can't be on self and on purpose at the same time.
Yeah.
So personally coming to that place where I'm like, my life can be of use to Lawrence.
Yeah.
It kept me going. You don't know how much.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I felt like it will count.
Let me tell you what was happening to me at the same time. I was basically overwhelmed, so to speak. And it pained me.
By what?
By the situation I was going through.
By eating popcorn for lunch.
It was overwhelming.
Eating popcorn for lunch and sharing Rolex among 4 people.
Yeah. It was, and other, plus other issues, family related issues and so on. It was overwhelming for me to come through for you.
I mean, how would you have?
Basically,
looking back now.
Yeah.
What do you think you could have done?
I don't know.
Because you knew I was hurting.
I think the best I could have done was to have a conversation. Maybe deeper conversations, But at that moment in time, even the means of having a conversation, even airtime, used to be a problem. But I think looking back, knowing what I now know, I think a conversation could have helped, a deeper conversation, longer conversations, several conversations could have helped.
So you see what's interesting is at that time, my best friend threw me out of his own house.
Yeah.
So how did that person help a wounded warrior?
Yeah.
And I had to move